So it's kind of clear to see why people might fear another gold or silver confiscation, right? And I'm going to tell you right now the 3 reasons why I don't think it's going to happen.
The Scottsdale Mint Eagle Stacker Silver Round. Precision crafted, interlocking, and available in 1, 2, and 5 ounce sizes. Only at SD Bullion. Trusted by hundreds of thousands of customers and rated A+ by the BBB. Don't wait. Grab your Eagle Stacker today at sdbullion.com/stacker.
The gold confiscation. Do I fear it? No. I don't. I don't fear a 1933 style gold confiscation or a 1934 silver confiscation. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I don't think it's going to happen. I know many of you out there do. I get comments like this or emails and such that say that you are afraid that the government is going to take our gold and silver again. They could do it, but I don't think they will do it. So let's go back really quick, 1933. Under the pretext of a national emergency, President Franklin Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102. That order forced every U.S. citizen to sell their gold at a price of $20.67 an ounce. Let's be clear here. The government didn't go to your house and kick your door in and say, "Where's your gold? Give us your gold." They didn't stop you on the street and frisk you. It was up to the people to bring in their gold. And people did. You could get up to a $10,000 fine. And you could get thrown in prison for 10 years. That rarely happened. There were some exclusions for numismatic collectors, but that exception was actually really difficult to prove. Okay, so why? Why did they do it? We were under a gold standard. And under a gold standard, the amount of dollars outstanding by the federal government was directly linked to the amount of gold in our banking system. The total amount of dollars couldn't be expanded, couldn't be printed without an equivalent addition to the gold reserves. President Roosevelt also confiscated silver, even though it wasn't a legal tender at the time. It's Executive Order 6814. The government pretty much stole the wealth of the American people when they did this. This confiscation thing is not an American phenomenon, okay? It is international in scope. Australia, they had their gold confiscation back in 1959. Our friends across the pond, Great Britain, you guys had a ban on gold in 1966. Even earlier than that, Mussolini tried to encourage Italians to donate their gold voluntarily for the fatherland, right? And Hitler, during Nazi Germany, he pulled his confiscation scheme in 1939 when he tried to confiscate gold from Czechoslovakia. And that is what many of you are afraid our federal government will do again. I'm going to tell you right now the 3 reasons why I don't think it's going to happen. The first reason, it's not relevant. Let's remember what it was like back in 33. They had this stuff. It was not rare to see actual gold coins, pre-33 gold coins. That was the coinage. That was the money back then. Today, nobody walks around with gold in their pockets, or silver for that matter. Back then, gold backed our currency, receipts or claims on gold stored somewhere. Today, no way. We have fiat currency, Federal Reserve notes. We've lost the mindset that gold and silver are real money. Silver's seen primarily as an industrial metal. Gold is, something that, big central banks stack, right? It's just not relevant anymore. That's the first reason. Second reason, it's not practical to have a gold or silver confiscation. Since it's not a monetary metal, or at least seen as a monetary metal by the masses. I got to be careful here because sometimes I trigger people when I say, it's not a monetary metal. They go, Yankee, yes, it is. I understand, but it's not seen that way now. It's not seen as a transactional means of exchange to buy goods and services. Remember, when they had to turn in their gold back in 33, where did they go? They brought it back into the bank. Can you imagine bringing your gold to the bank? That's just logistically crazy for them to put in another 1933 style confiscation order. What has happened since 1933? Technology. That has driven the industrial uses of gold and silver to incredible heights. In fact, I mentioned that people don't walk around with gold in their pockets. Well, you realize how much gold and silver are in our technology, like a cell phone? About 1/1000th of a troy ounce of gold and about 1/1000th of an ounce of silver. So we are using silver and gold, especially silver, up left and right in solar panels and medical instruments. And how hard would it be to do a gold or silver confiscation and try to exclude all the areas that we rely on gold and silver today? They didn't have that back in 1933. I don't think it's practical to have a confiscation like they did many, many years ago. And the third reason why I think it's not going to happen, and this is a big one, is it's not necessary. Guys, there are dozens and dozens of ways for our government to steal our wealth. Inflation, that's what they're doing now. They're inflating our money supply. They can inflate our money away, make it useless. And think of inflation as a tax on our future consumption. It steals our wealth. And speaking of taxes, yeah, that's a big way for the government to take our wealth. I think taxes are going to go way up. They could tax windfall profits on gold and silver. And there's precedence for this too. Back in 1980, a lot of you probably don't remember 1980, but Congress passed the Crude Oil Windfall Profit Tax Act, which taxed up to 70% of windfall profits of domestic oil producers. I wouldn't be surprised if Congress passes a similar act. They could levy a tax of 70% again, or maybe 80 or 90% or whatever, right? Bank confiscation. That can happen, or better known as a bank bail-in. Let's say tomorrow, the government says 10% of all savings is government property. Job done. The only thing that has to happen is, some small correction in the books at commercial banks, and boom, they get their money. That would be a lot easier than to do a gold and silver confiscation, just taking from savers. All those IRAs that we have, 401k Roths, all those are legislative rules, and they can be changed just like that. Oh, but my earnings aren't taxable anymore. Oh, really? Suddenly they may be. Well, what if on the next day, the government announces that your mortgage is now indexed to inflation? Think about that. I mean, they do index, like Social Security payments to inflation, or at least they're supposed to. But what if they indexed your mortgage to inflation? In other words, oh yeah, you only owe this much, but since inflation has gone up this much, tied to inflation, you really owe this much now in your mortgage. See, the government wants to take our wealth, but they want to make it easy on themselves. They're looking at liquidity. Liquid savings are probably the most at-risk asset for them to take. I mean, it's easy pickings. What should we do anyways to protect ourselves, especially from that windfall profit tax that might occur? Well, stay anonymous. Okay, do your best to shield your identity as it relates to precious metals, including online. That's one of the reasons why I am Yankee stacking. I'm anonymous on my channel. Use cash, not credit cards. Bring cash to your local coin shop. Use cash while you can, while we still have cash to use. Use it to buy your gold and silver. That's the 3 reasons why I don't think a gold or silver confiscation is likely. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure it's prompted a lot of comments or questions. Make sure you put that right down there in the comments section below. I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope your day is A-OK.